Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And once again, this is the one-day chart. We're sitting here at $2.21. XRP slipped into the green earlier today. And now everybody's saying we are so back. This is the moment we've been waiting for. I think it's too early to say the bottom is in. I want to see where XRP goes over the next couple of days. If we start moving above 230, 240, 250, then I'm going to tell you we are now so back. But right now, we are finally starting to see XRP move upward. Let's see if it continues. And we're up 2.5% today. Look at Bitcoin up not even 1 full percent, sitting above 92K now. And people still believe Bitcoin's going below 70K by this coming weekend. I'm not so sure of that happening. I still think Bitcoin's going to start its final ascent. And as it's moving up, it's going to pull the rest of the market with it, leading us into alt season. And look at the fear and greed index. It's now at 15. Yesterday, it was at 17. So even with the market bouncing back a little bit, people are still very fearful in crypto. You know, I don't get it. People run and rush to sell on red days. On red days, you do nothing, or you buy the dip. And like I said, Franklin Templeton's ETF has not gone live yet, but in light of the Franklin Templeton's upcoming XRP ETF, this deserves another look. Franklin Templeton, other L1s outside of Bitcoin, ETH, and Solana have massive potential. They were pointing directly towards XRP, a point now validated by their decision to launch an XRP ETF. And Jenny Johnson, she knows. She knew a long time ago, and she was telling us back then that Bitcoin is the greatest distraction from the greatest disruption that is coming to financial services. Take a listen to what she says here.
Bitcoin is the greatest distraction from the greatest disruption that is coming to financial services. I think AI is probably the other big disruption there, but and there's so much noise around a lot of things like FTX and others. But if you bring the technology down to its core value, it does three things. One is it allows a payment mechanism. Number two, it allows smart contracts to be programmed into the token. And three, because it's a general ledger, it has a source of truth. So whoever has that token, all rights in that token are granted to that person. So if I sell it to Frank, I don't have to go through a third party to do it. Frank gets it, and Frank gets all the rights. So my favorite example is Rihanna, who came out with, right before the Super Bowl, and I know she's just testing the market in this, 300 NFTs, each one worth 0.00033% royalties on one of her biggest songs. Well, why can she do that? She can do it because when Spotify plays a Rihanna song, it can capture, the smart contract executes and says, I owe royalties here. And so nobody has to be involved in it. And it can take the fractional payment and go to, because Frank's a big Rihanna fan, so it goes to his account, and he owns a couple of those. And he's paid, right? So now think about any way in which you have revenue streams or royalty streams that you can now start to fractionalize that or democratize that, and think about how that is an uncorrelated asset to all the traditional assets. So other examples is, I think that athletes are they'll sign a big contract, they'll say to their fans, I'm going to sell off, tokens worth 10% of my future revenue stream. I'm going to, 100,000 tokens, and boom, the fans are going to probably pay a premium for it. So it will be a way, if you think about it, it's just securitization done on steroids. And it's mirrored.
She knew a long time ago what XRP was built to do. She knows that beyond Bitcoin, everything is all about utility. Bitcoin has no utility. It's the same reason I think institutions are now looking past Bitcoin as well. The third day, 5 million XRP estimate for Canary XRPC comes in close with 4.4 million XRP acquired to back the fund. Now, over 124.4 million has been taken under management. And then he gives you a daily average scenario. Daily one fund inflow, 5 million XRP times 12 funds, 70 million XRP per day. 1 week, 5 days, 350 million XRP weekly getting locked away for these ETFs coming out of circulation. And the Franklin Templeton ETF is set to go live on the 24th. It did not go live today. And if you're new to crypto, and even if you've been in crypto for a little while and you get frustrated on red days, do what Dave does. Take a listen.
Now, am I eligible for this? Because here comes the announcement. Last night, Monday, November 17th, if you want to look at what I did, here it is. I hope I'm not giving away nothing. I probably am, so I probably shouldn't show it. 638 bought $500,000 of XRP. 637 bought 400,000 of ETH. 637 bought 750,000 of BTC. 636 bought 500 more or a reverse of XRP. So in total, last night, $1 million of XRP, 400 ETH, 750 of BTC. Blood in the streets. Dave's like a piranha. Dave's like a great white. He's just shark on fins. Oh, you know what? Let's do it. And we I know.
I thought that was great because that's what every crypto holder should be doing when there's blood in the streets. You buy when the market is red. You sell on massive green days when those green candles show up. If you want to take some profit, that's the time to do it. You don't sell on red days. XRP price projected to hit $7 to $24 within 60 days. So they're citing the ETFs in this article, and they're saying within 60 days, that's where XRP could go. And I agree with that. I think we're going to start to see value come from the ETFs. Everybody right now is like, well, the ETFs were nothing for XRP. You got to remember, the entire market was down. And at the same time, these over-the-counter sales are happening, and it's not affecting the price of XRP right now. But what it's still doing is taking away some of the circulating supply, and it's locking it up for a period of time. And I don't think anybody's going to rush to sell these XRP ETFs anytime soon. Breaking, the SEC has removed crypto from its 2026 priorities, signaling it's no longer considered a special risk area. So it looks like the SEC is now shifting, and I think a lot of the power around crypto is going to the CFTC. But, you know, when we had Gary Gensler at the SEC, it was like the worst time in crypto. You couldn't catch a break. Even when crypto looked like it was about to take off, right away we'd get a big announcement that he just sued another crypto company. I am so happy those days are gone. I'm happy about what we have ahead as XRP holders. And every time Gary Gensler called something a security, I bought that cryptocurrency because I knew they weren't securities. I knew they would be deemed non-securities at some point in the future, and it was just a matter of time. LCX was one of them that he called a security. I couldn't even believe it. It's the most regulated exchange. And the cryptocurrency associated with LCX, I think it's going to be part of ISO as well. But it looks like we're not going to get that market structure bill before Thanksgiving. Take a listen.
Hey everyone, Brian Armstrong, Coinbase CEO here. I'm in the halls of Congress, back again, pushing for market structure legislation. We've seen a lot of progress since I was last here. We've now seen draft text shared by the Senate Ag Committee. Senate Banking is also working nights and weekends to get the next iteration of their text out. So we've got a good chance, I think, of a markup for this bill in December, and hopefully get it to the president's desk shortly thereafter. This would be a big milestone to get crypto unlocked with clear rules in the US, which would benefit all companies. But of course, Coinbase wants to be the top crypto company, so we're working hard on product in the meantime as well. And December 17th, we've got our product event, which you can tune on the live stream to see everything we've been building in the second half of this year. Thanks all of you for continuing to show up and contact your representatives and keep pushing for clear rules for crypto in the United States. We will keep doing our part here as well to try to make it happen. Thanks.
So it looks like it could hit the president's desk before Christmas, and let's hope it happens before the end of the year. If it doesn't, I expect it to happen at the beginning of next year, but the sooner the better, because that market structure bill benefits utility-driven cryptocurrencies. And this comes from Time Traveler. Everyone is different in the XRP world. 100 XRP will make few people millionaires. 1,000 XRP will make all holders at least a millionaire if XRP hits $1,000. $2,000 plus XRP would make it so that every person who held XRP at any time from the years 2012 to 2027 a multi-millionaire with no need for it to go any higher, for their life to change in any meaningful way. Folks, if XRP hits $100 to $500, which is absolutely guaranteed, we have the chance to reinvest, market, and structure our lives in a way where we can live comfortably, all the way up to $1,000 to $73,000 plus. I don't know where they come up with some of these numbers, but I do believe XRP at some point in the future is going to hit 10K. It's got to move a lot of value. Tokenization is really going to open up the price movement for XRP. And right away, people would say, well, based on market cap in previous cycles, XRP will never break above $10. And I think they're totally wrong. It's all about utility. But when could it hit $1,000? I covered this in multiple videos, and I still believe the timeline for that to happen is by 2028. Now, it could happen sooner, but I think by then we will start to see the early signs of mass adoption. It all starts with regulations, institutional adoption, and those institutions are going to open up mass adoption. It's just a matter of time. And I'm going off of David Schwartz's timeline. He said 12 to 24 months, and that was a while back. So most likely institutional adoption is just over a year away at this point, meaning mass adoption is most likely 2 years away from then going forward. So that puts us somewhere between 2027 and 2028. Let's see if it all plays out. And I talked about XRP becoming a tier 1 asset in a couple of videos. Take a listen to this coming from Black Swan Capitalist.
I think by the time we see the next real crisis, though, the IMF and the central banks of the world and the BIS are already kind of telegraphing that gold is going to be part of a new system. Whatever that system is, however disorderly or orderly it is, it's probably in the form of a central bank digital currency of some form. The IMF literally has a graph of it on their Bretton Woods 2.0 page on their website. And at the base of that graph is physical gold. Because even for something as awful as central bank digital currency to have any validity, they know now in this new crisis to come, which they helped create, and they blamed on COVID, they know now for that central bank digital currency beast to have any credibility as an efficient settlement policy, it has to be backed by a hard asset, and they put gold as the hard asset there. And that's why the BS and everyone else, BIS is making gold a tier 1 asset. They're programming us serfs for the moment when centralized currencies are coming in, and they're going to back that in some coverage ratio with physical gold. I'm quite convinced of it.
So he's talking about currencies being backed by gold, central bank digital currencies. And I totally agree with that. I was saying that all the way back in 2022. And even if they were to back a currency with gold, remember, XRP is still built to move that currency. That's why I always said XRP doesn't need to be backed by gold, because it's going to be moving the value of gold within every transaction. We're definitely going back to a gold-backed system. That's why the central banks have been loading up on gold for the last couple of years, and they're continuing to do it right now. So think about it like this. If XRP was to become a tier 1 asset like gold, what do you think the price would be overnight? If they said that and XRP became that tier 1 asset, in my opinion, we're going to 4 digits very quick. And there's a good chance of the BIS saying that at some point, making that announcement. That goes down the lines of XRP also being utilized by the IMF as an ESDR. But like I said at the beginning of this video, it's still too early to say the bottom is in. I want to see where we are over the next 24 to 48 hours. That'll give us a better understanding on where XRP goes from here. But one thing is for sure, that breakout is absolutely coming. And until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.